Please be sure to support the video we reacted to today by clicking the link at the top. Enjoy the show! Alright, bros, now this is one of those videos I have been meaning to watch because it's an important one. It's a story I have been following for a minute. I'm gonna subscribe here to Mugen. Drop him a like. For those who do not know about the Selen Tatsuki situation, now known as Doki Bird. What's up, doggy boys? Babies? And so basically, Selen Tatsuki has been having a bit of a situation with Nijisanji. Let's just say that much, okay? I'm sure the video is going to go over it. I'm sure the video is going to explain the whole ordeal. But basically, yeah, to get you caught up on the most recent stuff, Selen Tatsuki had some falling out with Nijisanji, and Nijisanji seems to be handling the situation rather badly, to be completely honest. So, let's go ahead and get right into it, my dudes. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Mugen! Support him, my dude, for making this video. Let's go.
So, you know when a situation gets to a point where...
Okay, see, now we're on another video and my audio is way too loud. See, I need to trust myself. Alright, from now on, I'm keeping the audio where I had it previously. I'm gonna stop futzing around with it.
So catastrophic.
That's better.
People start saying the phrase, I hope this gets taught at universities so that it never happens again. Well, this is exactly what's been happening in the Nijisanji and Selen Tatsuki situation, or better yet,
honestly
incident.
A really good example
because
of how
when I say
not
that
to
this
run
is
a company.
catastrophic, I don't mean to say it just in regards to VTubing. No, I say this in regard to the entire internet. Because this is one of the biggest cases of corporate mismanagement I've ever seen in my life. We're talking about a management team that didn't do anything about internal bullying and harassment and let someone almost die because of their...
Bro, not even necessarily didn't do anything. They even, like, may have participated in some of that bullying. It's absurd!
Their negligence. I purposefully waited until we got somewhat of a satisfying conclusion because yes, there is a good ending here, thankfully. And what ended up happening to the corporation, or what is currently happening, is hilarious. This is gonna be a roller coaster, so strap in. Alright, so here's the deal. To really understand the severity of the situation, you have to understand the ecosystem of VTubing in general. The biggest players in VTubing often are associated to a corporation. These corporations tend to be from Japan, at least the biggest one.
Yes, and honestly, for the most part, it tends to be because they have, like, it's just an injection of money, my dude. Flat out. It's an injection of money that could really, like, allow you to do huge freaking, like, events, streams, like covers. You can get all the licensing and stuff. It's just a great way for you to do so much more as a VTuber, and it's a main reason why a lot of people end up going with agencies, is because it sort of instantaneously gives you the ability to start doing so much. At the same time, however, you are limited on what you can do because you're playing by their rules. They own the VTuber model. Like, well, I don't know if it's like that for every single model, right? But, like, for the most part, you tend to see Gargora not owning Gargora, Mori Calliope not owning Mori Calliope, stuff like that, where the VTuber does not own the VTuber, the company does.
And they kind of work like music labels, where they literally, and I mean literally, own everything. And yes, that also includes your VTuber model. Okay, this one in particular is fan-made, the ugly bastard. But you get the point.
Love it.
They own what makes you.
I need to get one of these for DW. If he ever gets on stream.
You. And it goes without saying, they also have access to all your social media accounts, they have the passwords, they can do whatever they want, they can delete whatever they want. It's up to them completely. People will sign with them anyway though, because they're attracted by the idea of this network, of these resources, of all the stuff that the corporation can do for them. Just like how musicians will still sign with music labels. Currently, the two biggest corporations in VTubing are Hololive and Nijisanji. Hololive
That
is
is
owned by
correct.
its parent company, Cover, and Nijisanji is owned by its parent company, Anycolor. Now you probably already know this by now from the title of this video and where we're heading with this, but the corporation at the center of this incident is Nijisanji's English branch, which is of course owned by Anycolor. But one thing you might not know is just how much Anycolor is worth. When it was put on the Japanese stock exchange in 2022, the worth of the company was at $2.5 billion. That's American dollars. Yeah, it pays to have anime girl avatars.
Good Lord, that's a lot of moolah. That's so much monies.
Talk in front of a camera. VTubing's main source of revenue always came from Japan, but in 2020, during the pandemic's peak of loneliness, Nijisanji and Hololive saw an opportunity. English-speaking weebs. That's when the main culprit of the hour was
That's me.
created, which is Nijisanji's English branch. Selen was in the second ever English branch wave, which is Obsidia. She's
Obsidian. Dude, there are way too many VTubers to keep up with, I'll be completely honest with you. I have such a hard time keeping up with all the indie VTubers in the scene, my dude. Let alone the freaking, like, top
branch. Selen was in the second ever English branch wave, which is Obsidia. She's right here, as you can see. But before even joining Nijisanji, she used to be known as Dokibird. Initially, she was drawing Twitch emotes,
which she has now returned to, my dude. Pretty freaking sick. What's up, doggo? No fighting, baby. Sorry, doggos are fighting. No fighties.
and then started streaming. People
I'm
love her
surprised they
wacky
actually listen.
personality, and she was just having fun. She then joined Nijisanji's English branch under Obsidia alongside Roseby Lovelock and Petra Gurin. She was in love with the game Apex Legends. She would play that whenever she could. People quickly fell in love with her personality, and she was truly known to care about her fans way too much, often making big sacrifices to make them happy. She called them her Dragoons. But you know what? Since her first stream in July of 2021,
Dude, I have said it many times and I will continue to say it. I am so freaking jealous of her. Oh, I'm sorry to block you. I'm so jealous of her freaking, her community name. Dragoons is such a great name.
with
I still can't
Nijisanji,
think of a
things
good
were
one for
going really well.
My
Or at
community.
least, that's what people thought. Because at the end of 2023, news would come out that would turn the VTuber community upside down. It all started on Christmas Day, a day you're meant to enjoy with family. It couldn't have gone worse. The trigger for this entire
And
catastrophe?
I luckily was
A
very,
music video.
I
Someone had
kept up with
worked
this
on a
whole
music video.
situation. I kept up pretty well with this whole situation, so I knew what was going on. It was a trip. And of course, as soon as I put up the freaking video, where I reacted to her, like, not responding, of course they come out with the next news. The very same day, dude.
Video for her fans.
As soon as
She
they put that
paid
video up,
$15,000 out of her own pocket because Nijisanji wouldn't fund it. And on top of not funding it,
dude.
what do? They take down the video in under 24 hours. No explanation to the public. Remember what I said about corporations and how they have access to all social media of their VTubers? Yeah, that's what happened, and she couldn't do anything about it. All she could realistically do under the very tight contracts and NDAs of a corporation is make up a vague tweet.
Now, I like to play things fair. Because there is some context that is being, I don't know about left out here, right? But, so, it is true that Selen did not go through the appropriate channels, or rather, did not get the appropriate permissions to release this video. By Nijisanji. She did get the appropriate permissions from the artist that made the song originally, because it was a cover. She paid for it, had everything ready. She had requested, to the best of my understanding, she had requested to have the video approved. Remember, this is a Christmas video, a Christmas music video. It was freaking Christmas. How long does it take to approve it? It's a freaking music, it's 3 minutes. Watch the freaking video. But okay, they didn't approve it for whatever, they lagged it, even though it's Christmas Day, so of course it's Christmas Day, she has to freaking put it up. You know how difficult it is to plan out things for like the holidays, bro? I couldn't do a jack squat for this Valentine's Day. Why? Because I don't plan things properly. I got monkey brain. I can't plan things ahead.
Sort of explaining what's going on to her fans.
So yeah, she released it because of course she had to. It's freaking Christmas. They take it down, and I can only imagine in her frustration, she told people, screw it, go freaking Do what you gotta do to watch it, because I mean, it's
She
content
says,
you made. It's content she made. She paid for, and that pisses me off that she can't freaking post it up. Like what? Like that's what I hate, bro. That kind of control, that kind of power they have over you. That's why I hesitate to ever even think about joining an agency.
"Hello, I apologize, but management has privated the song. Please feel free to re-upload since a lot of money and effort was done by so many Dragoons," her fans. "I'm really sad that this happened on Christmas, but I hope somehow you guys will still be able to listen to it in some way." So I should mention that even at this point, many fans were asking Nijisanji to treat their talent better and to stop giving Selen such a hard time, okay? Even before all the stuff you're about to see, this was already a pressing issue. Her fans could already tell that this was getting to Selen. I mean, it is heartbreaking to lose.
Like, this was, like, I wasn't really a big, like, I didn't really watch Selen Tatsuki a lot. I knew about her for sure, but I didn't really know a whole lot. And I was hearing about this whole situation. Like, it got huge in the community. It went widespread.
So much hard work just like that. So they were understandably worried about her mental state. But no one could have been ready for what would happen 2 days after the music video got taken down. Because out of nowhere, on December 27th, she tweets on her account, "I apologize for the silence. I've been in the hospital after an accident and will be staying there for a few days to be under supervision. I just got back access to my phone yesterday." That's not something you want to see your favorite VTuber ever tweet out. Now look, at the time, her Dragoons did what any good fans would, wishing her good health, of course being worried, but hoping for the best. What many couldn't see at the time, though, is that there's something in this tweet that's very weird and off-putting. The Japanese apostrophe. As you can see from this tweet here by VT Screens, there are 2 examples of 2 different tweets, both made by another VTuber in the Nijisanji English branch called Anna Alouette. In the first tweet, a normal apostrophe is used, but in the second, a quote-unquote Japanese apostrophe is used.
No way, dude! They freaking caught him based off that!
Signifying that the first tweet was tweeted by her.
Bro, don't freaking mess with Dragoons, baby!
And that the second tweet was tweeted
Bro, this
by
reminds me
her
of the Shia LaBeouf
management
situation.
team. The implications of such an accusation is just beyond what any of us can process. This already in itself is a PR catastrophe, a disaster by every magnitude. But at the time, the only people who really knew what was going on were Selen, her emergency contact, we'll get into that later, Nijisanji, her parents, and her lawyer. But as far as everyone else was concerned, her fans, and even her closest friends, their only source of updates were her tweets. So 4 days after being hospitalized, she tweets, "Thank you to everyone for the support since I've been gone. I'm discharged from the hospital and my parents are helping me after my accident. Thank you to my Dragoons for all the kindness and support. I will keep trying my best in the new year. You are what keeps me going." Now, of course, people were happy she was out of the hospital, but the concern was still there. It was very vague and people didn't know what was going on.
I understand a little bit ahead. I do know what's going on. Hey, Zero, how's it going, my dude? I am not on YouTube at the moment because they, frankly, they kept taking down my streams because I would react to stuff, and so not on Fridays, not on Fridays, my dude.
Fortunately, as you might have concluded from watching this video so far, things only got worse. 2 weeks after Selen's hospitalization, Nijisanji's English branch tweets, "Due to unforeseen reasons, we would like to announce that Selen Tatsuki will not be able to participate in any activities at Anime Impulse Los Angeles 2024 on January 13th to 14th. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and disappointment caused to fans who have been looking forward to this." And then they detailed that the fans were going to get refunds. Now, all the replies here couldn't care less about the event and are all hoping for Selen's recovery. They're very supportive and are pretty much just giving their thoughts and prayers to her. But this was the first time since she got out of the hospital that we got any form of updates on her, and it's been 2 weeks. People were starting to get worried. So another 2 weeks passed by, and now it's been 1 full month since she tweeted that she got out of the hospital. So at this point, patience started to run real thin, okay? Prompting her fans to rally around the hashtag.
And at this point, we did react to it. Zero and Shimmer are the same person, in case you didn't. Dude, it is so. I am already struggling to keep everyone's usernames in line and straightforward. I'm struggling so hard. I'm bad with names and faces IRL, bro. Now this is getting me even tougher. By the way, bro, dude, I that message you sent me. I'm gonna try to get that A 24-hour stream right now is like, would be insane. Would be insane to freaking plan out, dude. But I want to do it. It's just that right now, like we'll get back to the video in just a sec. But right now, I'm working a full-time job and a part-time job, and I'm doing this. So it's kind of like I gotta get rid of one of those. My hope was to like get rid of the full-time and just do a part-time, and then this is part-time, and then that'll be a little bit more reasonable. I could probably plan something out. But that's gonna be a little bit more into the future. Until then, I gotta figure out what else I can do. There's gotta be like more I can do. I know there is. All right, let's get back to the video. We need more monkey. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna have a lot more. Don't you worry. My plan is I'm hoping like I if anything right now I'm sad that I'm not doing a full 4 hours. I want to get back to it.
Where is Selen on Twitter demanding answers just to know that she's okay, alive and breathing. This is the tweet that started it. If this statement comes off as asking for too much as a fan,
don't go overboard on your credit cards, children.
I apologize, but I and many other Dragoons have been worried about her well-being, and I think it's gone long enough to not hear from Nijisanji directly.
At this point in time, I had predicted that I assumed the reason why Nijisanji wasn't talking is because they were scared to like say anything. You get me? Because I assumed that they may not continue with Selen. So if I'm not saying called it, but I'm saying that was just my prediction based on the attitude they were giving.
Understand here is that at this point, even if you watched VTubers she interacted with,
but it seemed very, and I said it before too, it seemed very badly handled, flat out.
Wouldn't mention her. Nijisanji, her corporation, who has a responsibility to represent her, wouldn't mention her either. It was absolute radio silence. And what's even worse is that her close friends didn't even know what was going on either. Just one day after the hashtag started trending, a friend of Selen, RPR, said, "It's been over a month of pure silence and is starting to get concerning. It would be nice to know where and how Selen is doing at the very least." Things were starting to heat up, but of course, in the VTuber community, nothing is really one-sided, even when it comes to something like this. Some people still manage to find wrong things with that tweet and with that hashtag, defending Nijisanji and defending Selen's privacy. This shows that Nijisanji's English branch has...
And here was the issue that I feel like was happening there. And I'm bringing this up because I feel like it informs us a little bit on why they did certain things that they do in the future. But you have to understand, each one of these communities, so to speak, have like their own communities of like people that are like, you can't judge Nijisanji because then you are judging their favorite VTuber. You get me? Like Elira Pandora, you can't judge Nijisanji because if you judge Nijisanji, that means you're judging Elira Pandora. You get me? Same thing with anybody else. If you judge Nijisanji, you're judging Kyo. You know, you're like that's just
huge problems because when a talent of theirs says they've been hospitalized, I feel like a lot of that came from and then disappears for a month, you can't just not say anything. You can't just let the fan base fight with it.
I gotta admit, I don't know many of these VTubers that we're looking at right here.
The English branch has huge problems because when a talent of...
I know Kyo because there was that whole situation
there says they've been hospitalized.
That whole situation where they told him he sounds like he's trying to act like he was trying to. There was that whole situation where some other VTubers basically told him that he sounded black. Like he had a friggin' like, and the internet went freaking nuts over it. It's just like, but she's like Japanese, so she totally didn't understand like that's not okay to just like.
And then disappears for a month. You can't just not say anything. You can't just let the fan base.
I heard this chick is based though. Scarlett Yunaguni. I heard she's based as all get out though.
Within itself, that's gross mismanagement. But there's always a but in this story. If you think this has been mismanagement so far, buddy, now we're getting into the meat of the situation. Because just a few days after the Where is Selen hashtag was created, all of Selen's videos on her YouTube channel were privated, including past VODs. Her Twitter,
which is just like without saying a single word, bro. Without saying a single word, it's like, nah, bad move all around, dude.
Was privated as well, all simultaneously, and then a mega-sized nuclear bomb drops on everyone's heads. The Selen Tatsuki termination notice. This was so massive that
Came out the day that I freaking put up my reaction to the whole situation, bro.
It happened. It was everywhere on Twitter. Even if you didn't follow VTubers.
Did LMFAO get censored on Twitch? What the frick? How sensitive is Twitch? I turned on Twitch's auto mod. I'm gonna freaking turn it back off. You kidding me? How the frick is that a censored? How is that a censored? It's a freaking acronym. Acronym. Yeah, it's an acronym.
You probably have seen something in reference to this incident. But before we get into why this is one of the most badly written termination notices I've ever seen in my life, one thing to keep in mind. There are two ways a VTuber can leave an agency. The first one is graduation, in which they pretty much leave on amicable terms, and they make it a celebration.
I know I'm a VTuber. I don't know half the lingo.
Which is why they call it a graduation. They have a graduation stream to say goodbye, and everyone lives happily ever after. Termination, on the other hand, is what happens to someone like
It's like a dishonorable discharge from the VTuber community.
Where the company claims that they breached the contract in one way or another, so they're being fired. So just imagine, okay, you're a fan, you've been waiting 1 month to hear back from Selen after she was hospitalized, and her company comes in and says, yeah, you know what, she's fired. Excuse me,
yeah, we got rid of her.
Like, what?
Asking too many questions.
And of course, they also got community noted. But we'll get into that later. First,
dude, I love... Let me tell you something. If there's one thing I love, the community notes, it's just gold. It's just gold. Just gold content. Just top tier ace. Just.
Terribly written termination notice. This is a very vaguely, very badly translated termination notice. We don't really get any
Sorry, I tasted the cake, but it was a Nijisanji cake. It's all spoiled. Yucky.
Specific reason as to why she got terminated. Just very vague ones. I mean, look at this. They say that Selen has repeatedly violated the activity rules. The activity rules is something
monochrome on the inside
that all VTubers have to comply with under Nijisanji, right? But then when you read into what the activity rules actually were, they say they encompass a wide range of issues, such as non-compliance with rights confirmation and authorization flows.
I'm actually super jelly because the whole point of this monkey you see right here was meant to be like a mixture of anime monkey, Western animation, and like specifically Super Monkey Ball. What with my ginormous Dumbo ears? Oh my goodness, I have giant Dumbo ears. Should we call our community Dumbos? No, I want to be nice to you guys. You guys could be something. So far I got minis, I got monkeys, I got monks. Because now I'm an animal spirit, I'm a spirit now.
What does that even mean? What are we talking about, a jet engine or a VTuber's termination? But many of the things they were talking about in the first page are...
Yeah, they were just dropping a bunch of nonsense. There was absolutely no... Like, everything they said was just like it was real. You'll see. It's
redundant because they're spoken about in the second page in more detail, and most of this revolves around the music video, which is why they gave it an entire section.
They were just trying to like give as many possible reasons for firing her.
Termination notice. In it, they say that she posted the music video without getting proper authorization from her management team, because all relevant parties had to be okay with it. Of course, she was under the impression that she could post it because not only did she pay for the entire thing out of pocket, $15,000, but according to the community notes, Lily Pichu, the person behind the original song, had given full authorization to Nijisanji to use the song.
Check it out! Check it out! Straight from the Pichu's mouth! I let Niji know I'm okay with it back in August 2022. I feel very honored every time someone covers my song. I very much enjoy Selen's covers, so it's sad to see what happened. Bam!
But no, you know what? Let's take it down and not even tell the fans why it got taken down, right? So her tweet saying, management took down the video, you are free to re-upload it, also went against Nijisanji's rules. Because, hey, communication, we don't do that here, buddy. Nope.
It's like it goes against their rules. You didn't even freaking produce the video, bro. That's the shiz I hate.
Still though, they had the gall to claim that these actions led to various misunderstandings that damaged the reputation of both Any Color and Nijisanji EN. Buddy, listen, let me tell you something. She's not the one damaging the reputation right now. You are.
Yeah.
Because we are getting to the darkest section of the termination notice.
And isn't that just everything, dude? All of this is Niji's fault.
In an effort to calm the situation, we sought to either publicly disclose the reasons for making the music video private.
Oh man, sorry, I had to sneeze there.
Or have Selen Tatsuki disclose them herself. While being mindful of Selen Tatsuki's physical and mental health, management did their best to communicate not only with Selen Tatsuki herself, but also her emergency contact. However, despite frequent communication with Selen Tatsuki's emergency contact while remaining considerate of her situation, we were unable to come to an agreement on how to proceed. The decision was made to temporarily remove her access to accounts on various social media platforms and video distribution services under the name Selen Tatsuki. Dude, this is so much worse now that we know what happened.
They're saying they wanted to say something about it. You just didn't? Wait, okay?
This is so badly written. So you have to ask yourself why they're even talking to her emergency contact. And you also have to understand, what does "while remaining considerate of her situation" even mean? In any case, you couldn't stay curious about this, because then there's another bombshell in the last paragraph of the—
We removed her access to her social media while staying considerate to her situation. For those of you who already know the spoiler about how she actually was hospitalized, basically what they said, we took away access to her social media because she might start revealing things about us that we don't want to be revealed.
The notice. Despite our efforts, Selen Tatsuki demanded that Any Color should be held legally responsible. It means she's suing them. She claimed that she was no longer able to engage in her activities as a liver due to the decisions made by Any Color, was being harassed by other affiliated livers due to mismanagement, etc. By the way, as if it's like a little thing that—
Another BS that she was yammering on about some BS.
You should ignore, while refusing to acknowledge her responsibility for violating the activity rules. Moreover, Selen Tatsuki insisted that if the negotiations did not progress, she would proceed to release a statement regarding her claims to the public. This little sentence sparked a war on Twitter, okay? The fact that she was being bullied internally? Who the hell thought that this letter was gonna make Nijisanji look better in this situation? Because you know what the cherry on top is? Even Selen had no idea. She saw the termination notice as everyone else was seeing it too. So she got back on her—
Okay, first of all, I gotta say, absolute garbage move. Y'all are trash, dude. That being said, it is an unfortunate reality that the vast majority of these situations, you end up finding out about you not having a job through Twitter. That is the unfortunate, that is a common thing in unfortunately in the field. I'm not saying it makes it good or agree with it, but that is just something that tends to be the case, unfortunately. Look at all the game developers that find out by Twitter being their form of finding out. That is how they communicate with you at times. But with that being said, yeah, no, still garbage. It's still garbage to do it. I hate that they do it. Doesn't mean it's okay.
Account. And what she said is probably the worst thing to come out of this entire controversy. The attempt she made on her life. I will not be silenced anymore. On December, I was hospitalized for an attempt that was caused by a buildup of bullying from within and being in a toxic and poor environment for numerous months that led to my breaking point. I requested to leave first, but on more neutral terms on the 26th of January. So yeah, this bullying that Nijisanji mentioned so lightly actually caused her to almost lose her life. But no, guys, we gotta terminate her. She's too much of a stain on our reputation. This is what I mean when I say this needs to be taught at universities. This could not have been handled in a worse way. You have one of your top—
Okay, so now that we know, it's like the added context just genuinely made going back to read a lot of these things that Nijisanji was putting out way worse. Just way worse, dude. And I'm not gonna try to get too much into it, but if you're ever in that headspace, please seek out some help, my dudes. Of course, you already know what everyone says. Because it's like, to stay on topic, if this internal bullying was happening and it wasn't handled, it wasn't investigated, nothing was done about it, bro. It adds a whole nother layer to how soulless this corporation is And it's like, it's not just Nijisanji. I want you to know, it's most idols, most of these agencies in Japan as well. It happens to not just them, but singers, artists. It happens to like other talents, not just VTubers.
Top talents almost end their own lives over a toxic environment at your company.
A lot of idols,
and
they'll
your
find themselves in these
concern
situations too.
is your reputation. Like, I'm sorry, that is ridiculous.
Being
This
harassed
is what
and
ruined your
manipulated by their
reputation,
own
buddy.
agency.
This right here, the fact that so many people saw this tweet and understood what a terrible company you are. I mean, seriously. So far we understood that she was bullied internally, almost lost her life because of this, and still wanted to actually go through a friendly graduation saying goodbye to her fans without any more drama. But now that we know all this information, we have to take a step back on something very important. So here's the thing. Nijisanji self-reported themselves in the notice by admitting something they probably shouldn't have. As this Reddit post points out, Niji stated they stripped Selen's access from all accounts on December 26th, so these two tweets
Called it. Yep. Rather, I said earlier. Yeah. No. That pretty much guaranteed, like, or confirmed everyone's suspicion, so to speak.
Written by staff impersonating her, going back to the whole point of the Japanese apostrophe. So you're telling me that someone on your team tries to end their lives, and the day after they do, when they're in the hospital, you tweet on their behalf. And then you also have the gall to announce that they got out of the hospital, they're with family, speaking directly to their fans, looking forward to the new year. And you actually think this is a good idea? This is Nijisanji doing a very great job of personifying exactly why people hate corporations.
They literally faked her leaving the hospital and faked her being happy and okay, which is just a downright freaking evil, dude. That is some next level evil cruelty, bro. What the fudgesicle, bro?
To begin with, because they just see you as a number, and this is a perfect example of that. Furthering this point of not giving a single shit about anyone in the company, they threw all their talent, all their VTubers under the bus when they said that there was bullying and harassment and didn't give any names. Because after it got out that Selen almost died because of this, people started
because of bullying. And it's like now everyone's a target. Everyone's a target. Everyone that on there that's on Niji is gonna be assumed, unless they were super close friends. It's gonna be assumed.
Speculating in the worst possible way about who was bullying her. They started unsubbing from all other Nijisanji English branch VTubers. As you can see from this tweet here, I need names now. Now, whoever was allegedly harassing her from the livers needs to be known, because if I support them, I do not want to any further. And many of them took a quote-unquote social media break also with the Japanese apostrophe in those.
And I'm not saying nothing, I'm just saying the ones that are the most offensive are probably the guiltiest. Just saying.
Tweets announcing the break because things were getting out of hand. However, at this point, one thing was certain. Nijisanji fucked up big time. So now is when shit starts to go down.
And listen, if you think I'm not doing this specifically just to megaphone, be that extra video on YouTube that's just keeping the train going, that's exactly the point.
In very ironic Nijisanji mismanagement fashion, they forgot to unmod Selen's mods on her YouTube channel. So to raise awareness about the situation, they created a live stream that was never meant to go live and just spammed the chat with links to Dokibird's channel, saying Nijisanji fucked up. They did not remove my mod. Please subscribe to Dokibird on that stream chat on YouTube. The hashtag #SinkTheYacht started trending as well. This meant that people wanted to sink the yacht of the billionaire CEO of Nijisanji. After Nijisanji had caught wind of the rogue mods, they went and did the same thing in her Twitch channel. But wait a second, now that I'm looking at this picture, I just realized, why did this person resub for 28 months? Are they not aware Selen got terminated? Can someone tell them, please? As you can see,
you're just giving Selen the money. I mean, you're just giving Nijisanji the money there.
Sink the yacht. Someone also added Nijisanji to the list of Japanese black companies, aka...
Oh, okay. For those who don't know, this is a hilarious thing in Japan.
A black corporation or black business.
Let me see. Who else is on there? Crunch, video games, Japanese working. Yeah, okay.
Is a Japanese term for an exploitative, sweatshop-type employment system.
is the definition
As this
of
was all going on, many people were coming out and saying that they were not going to work with Nijisanji anymore due to this. So here we can see a clip.
It's basically just a terrible company you don't want to work for.
Channel saying this. Here we can see a merch company doing this. They've worked with Nijisanji for years, and also
I'm so glad these companies as well are freaking supporting
Height, who makes PCs and had a huge collab planned with Nijisanji, straight up canceled it. Now look, you're not going to believe me when I say this, and you know what? You're right.
Which is a smart move. Let's be honest. It's a smart move. They could still potentially get the VTuber scene. They could still. That's a big market. Look how much money Nijisanji's making. That's a big market. And if they want, like, that's a smart move right now to just back away from them because that ship is sinking and you do not want to ride.
But trust me on this. Even after all this, okay, Nijisanji still managed to make it even worse. Yes, I know, but it's the truth. They released this on their investor relations page. Impact of the decision to terminate the affiliation contract with Nijisanji English Liver on our financial results.
Everyone knows about this.
This was 2 days after the termination, mind you. On February 5th, 2024, Any Color made the decision to terminate our affiliation contract with the Nijisanji English Liver, Selen Tatsuki. The impact of this decision on our financial results will be negligible. Bro, you had someone almost kill themselves, leave. You didn't even tell them that they're leaving. You terminated them even though they wanted to leave on friendly terms. And this is what you have to say with everyone protesting. That is insane to me. And they had never released a statement like this before on a termination, ever. Even Goldman Sachs had something to say about this.
Bro, this was hitting news, bro. It was
minor earnings impact from VTuber contract termination. Any Color's share price has fallen for consecutive days after it announced.
As far as advertisements and stuff go, it must have been huge in Japan.
On February 5th, that it had terminated the contract.
I don't know, of course, none of the day-to-day people, right, the normies, so to speak. But it must have been huge on the news, the community, all that.
Of Nijisanji English streamer Selen Tatsuki. We see minimal impact on company-wide earnings from terminating the contract of one VTuber. And they argue that because the Nijisanji English segment accounted for only 19% of company-wide sales, they wouldn't be affected that much. Imagine taking financial advice from Goldman Sachs. Because they kind of were. Not just a little bit, quite a lot. Because as you can see from this chart here, this wasn't a minimal loss of market value. Their share price tumbled 10% throughout the course of this whole controversy. This is the graduation announcement. It tumbled. Then they thought, okay, we saw the worst of it. We're cool.
Bro, a lot of people lost a lot of money. 10% doesn't seem like a lot. But when you start talking about millions of dollars, 10%'s a lot.
And then ironically, on the 7th, they put out the document saying, hey, this financial impact's gonna be negligible, guys, don't worry. And then, boom! Minus 10%, wiping $152 million off their market cap. Now, yes, as I mentioned earlier, the company's worth over $2 billion, but losing 10% of your stock price will never, ever look good for any investor. Any Color believes terminating
and that's the big thing, because it's like, you see that 10% drop off, it scares them, it makes them sell, drops it further, scares them, and it's just a little bit, it just keeps going. So it's like, you're losing out not only on your investors now, but you're also losing out on potential investors later on.
Tatsuki won't negatively impact finance.
It will balance out, right? Because there's going to be those people that still believe in the company, or at least want to have the funds to sort of gamble on risking it on the company, to see if it bounces back and earn some money back, that's always going to be a thing.
Minus 10%. That's crazy. But while this is looking very rough for Nijisanji right now, the good news is that it's not the case for Dokibird. It's a happy ending for her, thankfully. She got a manager, and she cried when they told her that from now on she can actually get sponsors to fund her projects instead of paying everything out of pocket. You see, it turns out—
Bro, I don't know, can I start doing sponsors and stuff? I literally just got affiliate. I don't know what the frick that genuine, bro, y'all don't gotta understand something. I freaking don't know. I'm a monkey brain. So I don't know what the frick any of this stuff means. So it's kind of like, that's so cool that she's like now able to reach, get a little bit of freedom, so to speak, on that end, which is freaking sick, dude. I love it.
out that she spent over $200,000 just last year funding her own projects that Nijisanji would not fund themselves. According to her accountant, her mother, she made $0 last year. That's how crazy it was. Her return stream that was done a few days after she came back on her Dokibird account had over 120,000 concurrent viewers for like 2 hours straight. It didn't drop at all. And if you're not familiar with streaming, that's extremely impressive. Like esports events might get that kind of view count. And when she ended her stream, the total viewers that tuned in were around 1.1 million. And Nijisanji could have never predicted any of this because they're so stupid. They could have been by her side celebrating her success if they just supported her and didn't abandon her the way they did. But hey, she's free now and she's taking it all very well. This right here is a quote from one of her most recent streams. She said, so apparently the Suicide Squad, very poor choice of name considering recent events. Anyway, so she's taking it really well, which is great. She also did a vote to see what she should call her viewers now that she's Dokibird again, and
yo, see, what is this? Suspects, Tory, Burbs, Tomato. See, this is what separates genuine VTubers from idiots like me. I can't freaking think of anything.
They all voted Dragoons, and she said, well, screw it. It's not like it's copyrighted anyway. So the Dragoons live on. Meanwhile, this just came out very recently. Nijisanji is still struggling to keep this crisis under control. There was a huge Mario Kart 8 event planned with many of their VTubers, and they postponed it. Because in their words, they want to dedicate our full attention to prioritizing and ensuring the quality of our livers' well-being.
Yeah, of course. Suddenly they care about their livers.
How ironic is that, dude?
Wow.
Where were you when Sella needed your support? Very good question.
Yo, hold on, no. I love the top comment there.
Seems like crazy damage control, and I doubt any. Very good question.
Shareholders must be really angry if you're pretending to care all of a sudden.
This just seems like crazy damage control, and I doubt anything in management will change. I hope it does, but for the most part, it's just another corporation. Because just one day after she got terminated, they posted merch announcements.
Get out of here!
I don't think anything's gonna change.
Bad timing.
I feel like my dog communicates and understands better than this company. Oh my god. Look, if you're a viewer or a VTuber, there are two things you should take away from all this controversy. The first one being never, ever, under any circumstances, trust a corporation. And the second lesson, which I think is way more important than the first one, is that no matter how bad things are looking for you right now,
you and I are
there's
pretty new
never
VTubers,
any circumstance in which you should attempt to take your own life. Less than 2 months ago, Doki almost took her own life because of how bad things were. And now, less than 2 months later, she is the happiest she could have ever been, never able to guess that she'd be here right now. So if you also feel like you're at the darkest point of your life, just tell yourself this. Hold on a while longer. In a month from now, you could be the happiest person ever. Hey, you got this. Don't give up. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. This is the longest video I've ever made. I'm curious to see how it does. I also revealed my VTuber recently during this whole drama. I know. Perfect timing. Make sure to check it out on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you so much. Mwah.
What an absolutely great video, my dude, and I will absolutely piggyback off of the topic. Take it from someone who's been there, my dudes. You can make changes to better your life, even if they seem absolutely impossible in the moment. It's in no way going to be easy, and I'm not gonna lie to you about that. It is in no way going to be easy to take that first step, but you can do it, and it is possible to reach a better situation, and it is possible to get to just change things for the better in your life. Even if you can't see it now, you have to keep pushing to find the means to change. That is what I have found in my brief time on this earth. And it really means a lot whenever you just show that little bit of sympathy, whenever you show that little bit of concern to anyone and everyone in your life. And I think it's important that we sort of learn from the mistakes of Nijisanji, my dude, and just take that extra second to just take a moment to really think and support someone that looks like they might need it. And if you need it, look for someone that could help you out, dude. You know what I mean? Alright. Let's move on, my dudes. Great video, my dude. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Live reactions every Friday, so swing by!